Emma Roark, a 20-year-old autistic woman from Rancho Cordova, California. Now, Emma, she was one for nature, so she liked to go on her own for her own little nature hikes not too far from her home, half a mile to a mile away, in a nice forested area, which is generally safe for the public to venture out on their own into. On January 26, 2022, Emma went out on her own, which was no different than any other day. She went out for a nature walk in the area just up from her house. Did it raise any alarms? Of course not. She did it all the time. Why would it? Now, as the afternoon went on, friends and family started getting a little concerned. Even though she was known to go out and go for these walks, she still was gone a bit longer than normal. So they waited around, nerves started getting higher, anxiety started getting higher. Then finally at 6 o'clock, they said, forget this, we're calling the police. So at 6 p.m. on January 27th, 2022, Emma was reported missing to the local police department by her friends and family, as she since has not returned home from her walk. And since they called at 6 p.m. to report her missing, that was the start of a 4-day manhunt for Emma. Now everybody's trying to scramble to find Emma. Not only is it a young 20-year-old missing, she's also autistic. So everybody is kind of putting this high priority right now to make sure they can locate where she is. But then something extremely random happens on the second day of the search that just kind of, you would not expect this to happen. Now on the second day of the manhunt for Emma, an unidentified male, he approached the detectives at the Sancho Cordova Police Department, the ones who were in charge of the investigation looking for Emma. He handed the detectives a cell phone. The cell phone, it had contacts that made him a little fishy because he just purchased it off an unknown man who lived locally. And he called one of the contacts in the phone before giving it to the detectives, and guess who he got a hold of? Emma's father. So this confirming that this cell phone he just purchased was the missing woman's cell phone. And the winner, who sold the cell phone of the missing woman to the unidentified man, his name was Milko Morgan Rawl. Try to say that name 10 times fast. Now, the cell phone alone, that obviously isn't enough to convict anybody, but it is enough to put Mr. Milko on the police's radar, which he was. So they started looking into him, and they realized that he is just a homeless man in the area who does have a history for robbery and things like that from 2008, and even as frequent as 2017 for a burglary conviction. Now, there was a comment made about Mr. Milko that no one's really specified. They said that the missing woman, Emma, she fit Milko's profile. Now, they wouldn't clarify what that meant. Even to this day, they didn't say what that meant. He doesn't have any prior convictions to do with anything grotesque towards anybody like that. He has simple robberies, first-degree robbery. Nothing nice, but nothing to have a profile about somebody, you would think. So as the manhunt continued for Emma, on the 4th day of the search, her remains were found. They were found about half a mile up from her family home in a secluded area right near the river access, and this is an area she frequented all the time when she went for her walks. Her body was found pretty much mutilated. She was bound, she was tied up. There were obvious signs of abuse that we're not exactly going to get into. And the only fortunate thing about this is they were able to collect a DNA profile off of her body. But who can the DNA belong to? And the winner is Milko Morgan Rawl. The DNA that was found off Emma's body matched Milko, the same man who sold the cell phone to the unnamed man who gave it to the detectives after calling Emma's father. So after matching Milko's DNA, the evidence of the cell phone, police swooped on in and they arrested him. And what do you think happened from there? The Sacramento County District Attorney's Office filed a whole whack of charges on little buddy boy there, Milko, including murder, kidnapping, and various other charges of assault in nature that I don't want to mention. They would make the toughest man want to vomit. Well, soon, doesn't look like he's going to be homeless anymore. And the chances of the cell phone not being wiped and restored before Milko sold it, almost a blessing in disguise. It makes you think sometimes if things happen for a reason, no matter how unfortunate the circumstance or situation is. However, someone at the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office did release a statement saying that at one point Emma was tied and bound during this horrific ordeal. So now Milko, he's already had his first court appearance on February 1st, 2022 in Sacramento County, California. If convicted, he faces the death penalty. And I don't think there is going to be one tear shed if he gets convicted and sentenced to death in this one. Now, I'm sure the media is going to keep everybody up to date with the case, the trial, as it's ongoing today. And we're all going to know if and when he gets convicted and sentenced to death. And, well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of front row seats for that one. I would like to add that family and friends of Emma have launched a GoFundMe campaign, and the link for that campaign on GoFundMe will be posted in the description below this video. So please click, please donate, and help this family out in this extremely difficult time. So that's the story of Emma Roark, a 20-year-old autistic woman who just went for a walk, was kidnapped, put through the most horrific ordeal imaginable, had her family looking for her for 4 days, and just a nightmare. Just a nightmare. I would like to once again thank you for tuning into Horror Lore, listening to this story. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment, and you never know. Maybe the next story I tell could be someone you know or about you yourself. Until next time.